Okay, bonjour la classe. I'm sorry today I can't be with you and I'm not going to be available online today. So somebody will cover me to take registration. So make sure you write down here in the comments, otherwise you'll be marked as absent. But otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Okay, so on copie la date, on copie le titre. Le titre, c'est Work Experience, l'expérience professionnelle. Okay. Now, start your activity. Please conjugate the verbs in the perfect tense, detailed here, with avoir. Okay, so pause this video and conjugate the verbs in the perfect tense using avoir. Be careful, some of them are irregular past participles. Okay, when you're ready, take a red pen. J'ai joué. Tu as fini. Tu as commencé. Il a travaillé. Elle a voyagé. Elle a fait. Irregular for faire. Nous avons bu. Okay, when you have boire, obviously, is an irregular as well. Vous avez joué. Ils ont travaillé. Et elles ont fini. Okay. Remember perfect tense, specific and completed action in the past. Okay. You need avoir most of the time, or être for the Van de Tramp and reflexive verbs, followed by a past participle. So past participle for ER verbs, we remove ER at the end of jouer. You can hear we remove ER. We've got our stem. And then you add instead E acute, which is there. And it stays the same all the time. With avoir, it doesn't change. Okay. For IR verbs, we remove the R at the end and we're left with fini. Okay. We don't have any RE verbs, but most of OIR verbs will finish instead of RE, like RE, you remove RE or OIR and you have U instead. Otherwise, but the irregular past participle, you've got to know them off by heart. Okay. Okay, so today you're going to practice the perfect tense and understand some vocabulary about work experience. So I know normally you do experience in year 10, and unfortunately last year you couldn't do it. So you have to be a bit creative, maybe speak to somebody at home about some work experience, but you'll have to be creative and make it up. Okay. So now let's do some practice with using être in the perfect tense. So you can see here, all of them are Van de Tramp verbs, which you need to know by heart. They often have a movement associated to them, like aller, to go, arriver, to arrive, etc. So remember, you need to use être and then agree past participle. Okay. Pause the video and conjugate these verbs. Okay, when you're ready, take a red pen. Je suis allée, and because that was masculine person, but feminine person would be je suis allée. We add an E because the subject is feminine. It behaves like an adjective with that. Il est arrivé. Here, masculine il. We don't need to do anything to the past participle. But elle est arrivée. We need to add an extra E because the subject is feminine. Tu es monté, masculine. It doesn't change. Okay. Nous sommes sortis, feminine. And then we need to add an extra E here to the past participle. But also because it's plural, you need to add an S as well. Je suis entré. It should be actually, this one is wrong. If it's masculine, this one is je suis entré. It doesn't have an extra E. And the last one, feminine, tu es parti. We add an extra E because the subject tu is feminine. Okay. So pause the video and correct if need be. Write yourself a target. What do you need to revise in terms of perfect tense? Is it agreement of the past participle when using être? Is it your conjugation of être or avoir, which you need to know by heart? Okay. So next, I would like you to translate this in your book. So I'll read it out loud for you. L'année dernière, j'ai fait un stage en entreprise chez. Je commençais à et je finissais à. Tous les jours, je faisais le café, des photocopies, du classement, du rangement, du nettoyage. You can practice your pronunciation after me if you want. So. C'était intéressant, passionnant, enrichissant, très utile, gratifiant. J'ai trouvé mon stage ennuyeux, difficile, répétitif, stressant. J'aurais aimé faire autre chose. J'aurais préféré travailler ailleurs. J'ai adoré le contact avec les clients, les enfants, le monde des adultes. C'était fantastique de ne pas porter l'uniforme. C'était agréable d'être traité en adulte. J'étais vraiment ravie de travailler avec l'ordinateur. So I'll let you pause the video, write this down and translate into English. Okay, whenever you're ready. Last year I did an internship at this company. I started at and I was finishing at. Every day I was doing coffee, copies, filing, tidying, cleaning. It was interesting, fascinating, enriching, very useful, rewarding. I found my internship boring, difficult, repetitive, stressful. I would have liked to do something else. It's very good structure to know as well. I would have preferred to work somewhere else. I love the contact with the clients, the children, the adult environment. It was fantastic not to wear a uniform. It was pleasant to be treated like an adult. And I was very happy to work with a computer. Well, I was really delighted, even more than happy. You can pause and correct if need be. Okay. Now, can you please write this down 1 to 8, okay, and write down if it's a positive or negative sentence. Okay, this is to help you really with the positive and negative from the GCSE. Okay. Seb a fait un stage qui lui a plu. Is it positive or negative? Il travaillait avec les ordinateurs, c'était barbant. Il y avait trop de stagiaires. Seb a eu des difficultés avec la langue. Seb s'entendait bien avec ses coéquipiers. Seb n'avait guère la nourriture. Seb aura la chance de faire un autre stage en Suisse. Il est enthousiaste de pouvoir travailler en Europe. So I'll let you pause the video, write this down, and whether it's positive or negative. Okay, when you're ready, take a red pen, please. First one. Seb did an internship that he liked. Positive. He was working with computers. It was boring. Negative. There were too many interns. Negative. Seb had difficulties with the language. Negative. Seb was getting on well with his co-workers. Positive. Seb didn't like the food at all. Negative. Guère is even more a stronger word than didn't at all. Okay, and it's a nicer way, more formal way of talking. Seb will have the chance to do another internship in Switzerland. That's positive. He's enthusiastic to be able to work in Europe, and it's positive. So pause the video and translate any that you didn't quite know. Okay, so the final task I have for you is a big reading task. So I would like you to read this on your own, and I will have posted this as well in the assignment so you can have a better read. Okay, it's about somebody's experience, kind of work experience that they're talking about, and they're describing that. Okay. Then in the next page, which I've also attached, you need to find in this text, okay, the French equivalent for all of this. So write these down in your book and write the French next to it. So I'll let you pause this. It will take you a little bit for this, and then we'll go through the correction. So when you finish, that was the last task that you had to do. Please take a red pen and correct. Here you got the answer. I have to admit that je vous avoue que, or the same, tout de même. I see the word from a different point of view. Je vois le monde sous un autre angle. There were many of us. Nous n'étions pas très nombreux. I was fairly stressed at the idea of. J'étais assez stressée à l'idée de. Dans ce milieu, il était assez grincheux. Il fallait travailler sérieusement. En troisième. En revanche, which is also a more formal way of saying on the other hand, however, tout s'est bien passé. Il n'était pas très à l'aise en compagnie d'autres personnes. Je comprends mieux mes parents. Un esprit d'équipe. Les troisièmes doivent effectuer un stage d'une semaine de stage en entreprise. Bien que mon stage soit fini, here we've got a subjunctive, and of être, which is in irregular, after bien que. Le patron s'appelait. Il a pris le soin de tout m'expliquer, ce qui demande beaucoup de concentration. Épuisé après une rude journée de travail, je me suis rendu compte, and here we have an extra E, so we know it's a girl who's talking. Okay. Bien que la comptabilité ne soit pas la profession à laquelle je me destine plus tard, we've got subjunctive here. On allait toujours boire un café et papoter pendant des heures. Il m'a appris à classer les factures. Bien que je ne compte pas travailler dans la comptabilité plus tard, la seule personne est de passer des entretiens. So hopefully you've got enough vocabulary now to be able to understand a text on work experience at the very least right now. Okay? Okay. So that's it for today. So thank you for your hard work and I will see you all tomorrow. Okay. Au revoir.